Hey, it's Frank here with 4D Honeybee, and I'm going to have a look at my Queen Elizabeth hive here, which should be my strongest hive. It had a queen that went crazy all summer long, gave lots of honey, and the numbers were really good. I checked this box about 3 weeks ago, and I knew the first warm stretch that we were able to get, they were going to need a second box. So I'm going to give them a second box to put honey in. I'm going to put a queen excluder in so that the queen has to lay down in the bottom box. I'm also going to do a deep dive here to grab some eggs for another hive that I have that's lost its queen and needs one. So hopefully I'll find a bunch of brood and eggs ready to go here. I'll take them to the other hive and I'll be able to add a second brood box to this hive. So thanks for joining me at 4D Honeybee. Let's set you up a little better here. I don't like that angle. Get too far away too. Let's bring it over here. There we go. That better? Okay, this lid is locked down pretty good. That's always a good first sign. Now, last 2 times out of 3 that I've inspected this hive, the queen has been on the inner lid. Check the outer lid first. You don't see her there. Now we'll see about the inner lid. Decent number of bees. Now this hive will also have the mite treatment that I put on, which I will take away now. So let's look on this inner lid. For the queen, I'm going to remove all that burr comb there. First, that's a lot of comb. Holy smokes, that's a good sign. Now you can see this hive is ready for a second box, right? They are wall-to-wall bees, and that's what we want to see. Just going to use some smoke to get them down because I got to pull the mite treatments off. May also take that opportunity to get some of the burr comb off the tops of these frames here. As the bees go down. Get down, bees. Get down. I know it's not pleasant, but you gotta move ya. Box is looking pretty good. Okay, let's get in here, see if we can find the queen, make sure that she's laying right, and try to steal a couple frames from her. Good number of bees on this hive. They're already building out that outside frame, filling it with nectar. Same with this one, lots of pollen. Lots of nectar. So far the bees are very well behaved. These bees were great last year until near the end of the season. Then they started getting a little antsy. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at the brood here. They've got a queen cup going here too, which I'm going to get rid of. See that right there? Let's get rid of that queen cup. Nothing in it, that's good. Okay, on this side then we've got brood. Lots of drone brood too. And lots of pollen. Okay, this hive is just exploding. I mean, it's going to have brood on possibly up to 8 out of 10 frames. And that's why we need to add another super. Give this queen some room to breathe. Okay, so I'm looking ideally for a frame where the queen is laid in the last day or two, where I can find eggs. These are all hatched out frames. See how they're hatching out from the middle out? We're just about to hit a honey flow. We are actually hitting it now. Everything is blooming. And a good amount of rain, and now we're getting into some sun. And these bees are just going to want to explode in populations. So again, another frame here where it has hatched from the inside out. It's in the process of hatching as we speak. So I don't want that frame. Look at that. Wall-to-wall brood. Great frame. This queen is doing amazing things. Another heavy frame with brood. Beautiful. This one is just capped. See another queen cell happening here. I don't know, that looks like it's possibly just a funny spot to have a drone cell. This queen's putting her drone comb along the top of the frames, which is very interesting. They usually do it along the bottoms. In this case, in the middle. But I think this is because this particular frame has a big, they had big openings there. So she's going to put drone in those big cells because they're so much bigger. Very nice frame. Okay, now in the next couple of frames I need to find some eggs to be able to move to the other hive, and just should be finding the queen here soon too. Okay, this is a nice frame with brood, larva. Let's see if there are eggs on the outside. Yeah, I do see some eggs here. Not that many though. So let's just see if I can get one a little more freshly laid. Let's see what this side is like. Hopefully the next one should be good. This does have eggs in it, I can see them, so if I need to I can come back to this one. It's not ideal, but it's okay. Okay, this one's looking good. So I'm seeing eggs in this one. Very freshly laid. Yeah, I see an egg almost in every cell. So I might expect to find the queen on the other side of this. This one right here. She seems to be working from my right to left. If I don't see her on this frame, I'm going to get rid of these bees and take this frame over. Okay, let's get rid of these bees. See how the bees are coming up to the top of the frames now? I'm just going to push them down with a bit of smoke. Don't want to over smoke the bees, it definitely stresses them out. It takes quite a while for the bees to return to normal activity after an inspection. The more you smoke them, the more you do with them, the longer their hive is open. I suspect the longer it takes them to get back to normal. Okay, here's a hive where here's a frame where they're just starting. So I won't take this one. Check the next one, and we'll close this up. And they're just starting to fill this up with nectar. Somewhat surprised I didn't see the queen, but I've certainly seen enough sign that the queen is doing fine. Okay, so I'm going to take this frame that had eggs in it as well. Just going to have one more look at it. Lots of brood and some eggs. And that one I'm going to take over to the other hive. Took 2 frames from this hive. I'm going to replace it with a couple of empty frames. I can't remember if I took 2 or 3. Count them up for me, will you? Just do a very slight checkerboard here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more. It's another nice empty frame. Put that in here. I'm going to take the outside frame here, so this one goes back in. It becomes the outside frame on the bottom. And I'm going to take the frame that was the outside frame and move that up to the top. Really, really good looking hive. Okay, let's pull this frame off for now. Let's have another quick look for the queen here. See, this is a frame that they're just filling with honey and pollen. So we'll move that one up to the top and let them rearrange it when they see fit. We're just going to smoke them down a little bit. Get this queen excluder on. Now, I use plastic excluders, but I think the metal ones are better. If you can afford them, they're a little more expensive, but they just seem to be a little smoother and a little less daunting for the bees. Sometimes it takes a while for bees to want to work their way through the excluder. Sometimes you start off putting the excluder on and then you end up having to remove it. All right, let's take this. Alright, see, we've already got 4 frames of honey here, which will get them coming up and using the honey as they see fit. We've got this frame that they worked on up there. and 5 more empties. So that's it for this hive for a while. I don't think I need to come back for at least a couple of weeks. I didn't see the queen. I wasn't looking for her, but I always like to see the queen. But obviously, if you saw the rest of the inspection, you see that the queen is alive and well in here. With fresh eggs, fresh brood, lots of good resources, and the honey flow starting. This is part of the reason why we preach, even if you're starting off, try to start off with more than one hive, because you end up needing to rob some resources from one hive to another if a hive is struggling, and that's what we just found today. Didn't expect that to happen, but sure enough, turns out that that the hive that I thought would be doing well is queenless. So next steps for this bee yard, basically keep an eye on the hive that's struggling and queenless. Make sure it produces a queen or get another queen in there. It should be able to produce its own queen. We're still incredibly early in the season, and I like the bees to produce their own queens. And then just watch the other 2 hives and watch them grow. Keep them producing honey and keep them making bees. The ultimate goal will be to do some splits and end up this season with 5 hives heading into winter. All right, so let's try and make it happen. Thanks for joining me at 4D Honeybee.